Oh, there we go. Oh, hi.
Hello.
Wow.
How you
Nice to
doing,
see you.
Ruthie?
Oh, there we go. Hello, Norm.
Hi,
Hey,
Norm.
Ruthie.
I told your brother I know you.
Hello.
Well, actually, I told Jeff I know you. There was a mistake on their website, and I wanted to take. I said I'm a friend of Norm's.
Hi, Norm.
Hey,
I told your
David,
brother I
it's
know
so
you.
good to see you.
Well, actually, I told Jeff I know you. There was a mistake on their website. Yeah. I wanted to take. I said I'm a friend of Norm's.
Hi, Norm.
Hey,
Hi.
nice to see you, David.
Nice to see you too.
It's always great to see Ruthie, but it's especially nice to see you today.
I totally agree. You were missed. I think the rabbi missed you more than anybody, though.
That's funny.
He didn't do badly. I thought he did all right.
Good. Glad to hear
But don't worry. I'm not being fresh.
it.
Ruthie, I have to ask you a quick question.
Okay.
They're switching the next group of sessions for Stephen to Monday nights.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Okay. Rhonda wanted to know if you wanted her to switch the book club.
Oh, no, don't worry about it.
Okay. I asked the question.
Yep, that's fine. That's fine. Actually, it's better for me because I'm more interested. I missed the ritual meeting. So now I won't miss
Yeah.
the ritual. That was
Yeah.
more important to me.
David, what we're talking about is my brother leads these sessions, historical figures. And this past Tuesday night, he gave a discussion of Pope Pius XII and the interrelationship between the Catholic Church and the Jews during the Holocaust. And the session
Interesting
started
topic.
at 7:30. He didn't get to Pope Pius XII till after 8, because the first half hour he did this broad historical background.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing.
Catholicism and the history and why there's been such historical animus between the Jews and the Catholics. It was fascinating.
Yeah, I thought that, but it wasn't what I
Yeah.
thought he was going to say. He wasn't really on topic.
They can hear you, Mike. See this? Yeah.
Hello, Hannah.
Hello.
I
Oh,
think-
there's everybody.
Oh.
Hi, Annie.
Hi, Mike and Natalie.
Hi,
Hi,
David,
Natalie.
everybody.
Hi,
Hi,
Norm.
Annie.
Nice seeing you again.
Annie, what are you eating?
What have you got for
What
lunch?
do you got there?
I've had a really busy morning, so very bishvat. I'm eating grapes and figs and almonds and cashews.
That
Ooh,
does
that
sound
sounds
like
Wow.
good.
Bring some over here.
That is quite a treat.
Absolutely.
It's not-
I
I'll be right over.
I
Anna,
was still
I want
trying
your
to figure out
scones.
what to have for lunch.
I
Any-
wish I could.
It's
Oh.
looking more and more like a slice of banana bread.
Oh,
Any
good
scones?
move.
Can't go wrong.
Good move.
What, Ruth?
Your scones look so good.
Mike, you see
Yeah.
what I got?
There's only
I'm
one
ready.
slightly burned peanut butter one left.
Oh, not worth a trip, right?
No, they came out. Wait till I do them again. That was the first try for the peanut butter
They
banana one.
look good. Oh, we have a four-legged creature maybe with us, huh?
Aw.
Stop page.
It always has mild butter.
You left it on the
Think he
kitchen
speaks
table.
Hebrew? What do Hebrew dogs don't say woof? What do Hebrew dogs say? I
Baruch.
looked at a whole paper. Dogs in every language.
Baruch. I like that.
Dogs in every country say a different sound. I'm serious about this. What do Hebrew? I don't know what I've forgotten what the Hebrew dogs say. Do you know?
What
They don't
did
say
it
what.
say?
See?
I forget.
But I'm right. I mean, I was I once did a little research paper just for fun. But
Hold on.
I
A Hebrew dog says
Hello,
hop
Teresa.
hop.
how'd you find that out?
I googled it.
I'm impressed.
Dog says wan wan. A Kurdish dog says how how. Bark in different languages.
That's what I said. What does what does why do you say? Now Teresa, you got to teach him that.
I'll have Adam do that.
Yeah, right. No, Adam's teaching him to run.
All different languages here.
They do cats. Cats are more fun. Cats sound cuter.
In Mandarin, they say wang wang.
Dog or cat? Dog.
Dogs. I'm on dogs, Ruth.
Okay.
Hmm.
Wow.
Don't put
Hannah, you know what they say
Right?
True.
The rest of the pages.
In the land of Braidman, they say pun pun.
Oh,
Good, Norman.
What did he say?
I didn't get that.
Land of Brady.
Hi, Becky. Hi, Steve. Hi,
Hi,
Penny.
David. Welcome back.
Hello, everybody but Norm.
You.
Nice.
What is it, pick on Norm Day?
All right, let's get started here.
I think we already
So
did.
good
wanna
to
know what
see you
cat-
all.
That's true.
What do
A
cats say?
frisky group, David.
What do cats say?
Hold on, I'm looking up cats. They go.
Oh, in Hebrew, right.
Huh, hold on.
Penny, you may think you're in a Hebrew class, but you're in a dog cat language class.
No, Hebrew.
No, I didn't know. This is so diverse.
Apparently in Hebrew they say meow,
It's not
meow.
limited to human Hebrew.
Apparently. Apparently.
David, I've been watching this series through the Israeli consulate on, it's called How to Revive a Dead Language in 100 Years.
Oh.
It's
sounds
available
interesting.
on YouTube, but so each one is on a slightly different topic, and it's been so interesting. The
Okay.
first one is a lecture by the great grandson of Eliezer ben Yehuda.
Oh, yeah, what an amazing figure.
So he had the upside and the downside, but yeah, he was very interesting to listen to. And then the next one was by this linguist. Talked about, he actually, part of the show he was, or the presentation, he was with Stephen Fry, the actor, and he was
Yeah.
explaining to Stephen Fry about some of the words in Hebrew that didn't exist 2,000 years ago. So the process of how these words came about to modernize it, to introduce modern ideas, some from Yiddish, some from English, some from Arabic. And the last one was this man who was talking about graffiti, Hebrew graffiti in Israel, and what it's done, and part of it was how they're dealing with our new gender sensitivity. You know, how different, how they still haven't settled on a way to do that. But he said
It's a lot
sometimes,
harder.
yeah, so sometimes they're actually putting both endings on the words.
Oh, wow.
So it was
As
all
if it's
three of
not
them.
confusing enough.
Yeah, I know, I know. It's like he said, one of them, like, you know, more and more places aren't having a men's bathroom and a woman's bathroom. They're just having a bathroom.
Mhm.
They do that
So
in
he
a lot of
showed-
countries.
Yeah, but.
Yes,
the
but
word
in-
for it is the gender.
when you have like this, they added both suffixes onto the word bathroom to indicate that both men and women can go there. But all
Wow.
three of them have been, the last one is coming up this Sunday, but all three of them, and they're available on YouTube, have been really interesting.
What are they called? How to revive a language after 100 years?
Yeah, go
Dead
through
language.
the Israeli consulate in Boston. Go to their website first, and then you can find them.
Okay.
Sounds very interesting.
So
Take a
I will
look.
tell you that the three that I have seen have a very slow, boring introduction first. It's the first like 10 minutes you could like,
Go
they're
get your
horrible. It's just the speakers have no personality and they're just reading. But all three of them after that have been really, really interesting.
All right, great
Yeah, if you're not
class.
familiar with the story.
Sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
If you're not familiar with the story of Eliezer ben Yehuda, it's a fascinating story. He is, it wasn't single-handed, but more than anyone else, he was responsible for the revival of Hebrew as a spoken modern language. And he was part of a group of people, and they called themselves the Meshugaim, the crazy ones, because you had to be crazy to think that you could do this, to speak nothing but Hebrew when Hebrew was not a spoken language.
Right.
And to just figure out how to do it and not revert to Russian or Polish or whatever your native tongue was. And apparently it was quite hard on his children, apparently.
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what his great grandson said. He said they all said he was not a nice guy, but he was amazing.
Yeah, he was fiercely determined and persistent. So it's great to be back with you folks. Missed
Yeah,
you
we
all.
missed you.
Nice to see you, David.
You, David.
See you.
Before
So,
Before we actually start, just as a
Yeah.
reminder, I don't know where I got this from, maybe from the temple, but Debbie Friedman's got a concert tonight at 8 o'clock.
yes, that's true. I'm going.
Oh.
Yeah, you could still register to go. There's through the URJ. Let's see if I could find you a link or something. If you're interested, I could after class. I'll find it and send it to you all.
Good.
Yeah, there's the URJ is they're calling it a Debbie Friedman Kumsitz because it's her yard site tonight, and so it's many Jewish singers and cantors and a lot of people are putting this thing on at 8 o'clock this evening. And in the meantime, Tu B'Shvat Sameach. Happy Tu B'Shvat to everyone. And I actually did some research because I still could not believe, although I thought it was true, that there is no sort of standard greeting for Tu B'Shvat, like there is for Rosh Hashanah, Shana Tova. I suppose you could say Shana Tova for Tu B'Shvat also because it's the new year for the trees, or Shana Tova La'ilanot, Happy New Year for the trees, or good year for the trees. So I actually did a search, and I actually also talked with Rabbi Ken about it. He said he couldn't find anything either. So you could say Chag Sameach. You could say Happy Tu B'Shvat. You could say Tu B'Shvat Sameach. Yes, Norm?
No, you can give the Tu B'Shvat greeting. Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper
Live long and prosper.
Good one.
for us Trekkies. And it's a whole other story. You know that where Leonard Nimoy got this is
the
from
blessings.
Birkat HaKohanim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's from the Kohen's blessing.
Wait, do that with my left hand.
It takes practice.
I can do it with my right hand a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, you're good.
If you think about it, the phrase live long and prosper is actually also sort of in
You know.
the blessing that the Kohanim. Oh, Annie put in the
Annie's good.
Debbie Friedman in the chat. Oh, thank you.
David, how old is the Hebrew? What is the first recognition of when Hebrew existed? 2,000 years, more, less? If you know.
I don't really
think it
know.
was
the
on
number.
February 29th.
Because the thing about any language, to try to determine when a language began, the only records we would have are written records, and every language existed for a while without writing before there was writing. So it's an old language.
Okay.
David, my screen says live on YouTube. You're not recording, or do you want to be live?
I'm actually doing both today. It's live on YouTube, and I did that because it automatically records and uploads it on YouTube. I just have it on recording.
You can eat any of them.
I actually paused it. I have it on recording as a backup in case that doesn't work. But that will automatically post on YouTube for anyone who's not here, or if you want to review and take a look at it, it'll be on the YouTube page. So, so I thought we would sort of pick up where we left off, ease in a little bit, but I want to start with a little Tu B'Shvat something for us. Let's see if this will work if I share the screen. Can you see that?
Yes.
Oh.
So this is something that I love that we didn't include in last night's Tu B'Shvat Seder. That this is a prayer from Rabbi Nachman of Breslov, who is one of the early Hasidic Rebbes. He was actually a son-in-law, I believe, of the Baal Shem Tov, the founder of Hasidism. So he's the second generation. And he was known for instituting and pioneering this very beautiful spiritual practice called Hitbodedut, which it sort of means being alone with yourself. And what it consists of is going out into nature, communing with nature, and speaking out loud with God, having a conversation out loud with God alone in nature. You probably have to do this alone so people don't think you're crazy. And so he was very attuned to nature. So he wrote this prayer for nature that I'd like to read with you. Grant me the ability to be alone. May it be my custom to go outdoors each day among the trees and grass, among all growing things, and there may I be alone, and enter into prayer, to talk with the one to whom I belong. May I express there everything in my heart, and may all the foliage of the field, all grasses, trees, and plants awake at my coming, to send the powers of their life into the words of my prayer, so that my prayer and speech are made whole through the life and spirit of all growing things, which are made as one by their transcendent source. May I then pour out the words of my heart before your presence like water, O Lord, and lift up my hands to you in worship on my behalf and that of my children. So
Beautiful.
it's a little prayer for nature from one of our great rabbis. We left off in chapter 3 of this booklet, and we spent some time especially on Vishamru. So I'd like to turn to Vishamru now, and you can find that
44.
44. Thank you.
437.
On page 44.
Of
And
Can you say where this is in the service order of service for those who don't have
Oh.
the same book?
great, thank you.
Are you
So it
using
comes in
this book?
several. So it's
This
page 44 in this booklet.
Oh, in the
in
book.
That's right.
In the
Okay.
book. It's page 44 in the book here. But I like your question anyway, Annie, because it's always good to think about where things are in practical use. So Vishamru is a prayer that's only said on Shabbat, and probably for pretty obvious reasons, that it's about Shabbat. It's one of our central texts about Shabbat.
That's so interesting.
Probably recall. And so it's said both Friday night and Saturday morning. Unusual. Most things are not. So on Friday night, it's inserted right before the Amidah. And many people think that the reason it's put there is to remind people that when you say the Amidah, you should say the Amidah for Shabbat, not the Amidah for weekdays. Just in case you're going to forget, here's a reminder. Oh, it's Shabbat, say the Amidah for Shabbat. Because the part that we do out loud is the same on Shabbat and weekdays. But the Amidah consists of a lot more than that. That's done silently or privately typically. And those are, it's the same every day of the week except for Shabbat or holiday. The other time it's said is as part of the introduction to the Kiddush before Shabbat lunch. So, like at a Shabbat service, it's at the very end of the service before, at our temple, the bar mitzvah boy or bat mitzvah girl makes Kiddush. We sing V'shamru. So that's where it is in the service. So how about I mute you all and I'm going to sing it. All right. I'm going to do it without guitar today. I'm inviting you to sing with me, even though it's not going to show up audibly. That will be better for your practice. That's what I'm doing. I'm not doing it for my sake. I'm doing it for yours so that you could sing with me. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asot et hashabat ledorotam berit olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asot et hashabat ledorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam. Oti le'olam, oti le'olam, v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asot et hashabat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim Asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asot et hashabat ledorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asot et hashabat ledorotam berit olam. So I invite you to unmute yourselves. So I'm just, I'd like to know how that was for you. Were you able to sing that along with me? Was it easy? Was it difficult? Was good, Mike?
Yeah.
It was good, Hannah?
Oh, yeah.
Ruthie?
I have problems. I know the song. I can read the words, but you were going so fast. I couldn't find out where it was in the text because when it was repeating.
Huh.
That makes it.
Yeah, you do have to get used to that.
Yeah, I didn't know where
What
is
do
it.
you
By the
think?
time, I'm not that good. I'm slow in sounding out, so I really couldn't find it till I would catch up when you went back to what I knew.
Okay. Steve?
So one word that for some reason I think I'm hearing it differently than it's being said on the third line, 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth word. Is it, I thought it was asha, and I thought it sounded like you were saying asho.
Asa.
Second line, the fifth word? Oh, the third
The
line.
fourth, the
Asa.
third line, 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth word.
Well, it's neither of what you had just said. It's asa.
Asa. Yamim Asa Adonai.
No, I thought that's, okay, I thought you were saying aso. Maybe I just didn't hear it right.
I think I was going, Yisheshet Yamim Asa Adonai, Asa Adonai.
Okay,
So
so
I
there
would
are-
say, I'm still learning it. Like I know how to skip around Ruthie because I marked it, but there are words that I'll get part of it and not the rest of it. I'm still like struggling to get the whole thing.
We're in different places with this. Yes, Norm?
I was going to say that this is one of my favorite prayers. And it's interesting to me how it's set up to repeat the first couple line and then come back and then where you pick up. I think that's what Ruthie and Annie are talking about. To me, without a real knowledge of what the words mean, it just makes sense musically to me. But that's just from constant doing over the years, not that looking at it, oh yeah, that's what we break and repeat. I think that's a musical interpretation as well.
Oh, absolutely. Like there are many musical settings. I just did the one that we most commonly do at TCS. And many of my other settings that I like to do don't repeat at all. They just go straight through the whole thing. So that was a musical choice on the part of whoever wrote it. It's sort of anonymous. It's Hasidic. The composer isn't known of that version. But yeah, and it does make sense the way that is broken up there. It makes sense in terms of the words as well. Natalie, were you saying something?
No,
No. Okay. I thought I saw
I
you.
was, I don't remember.
Oh, it's okay. Yes, Norm?
Just as an aside, David, if you came to a service and introduced a completely different tune than what the congregation has been following for years, do you get feedback from that?
Do I get feedback?
Critical feedback.
You're talking about not from the microphone, from the people, right?
The equipment rebels.
I don't think anybody would shut the mic on you because I know certain tunes seem to be engraved. They come down from, from the mount with Moses, but we know that's not true. And it's constant growing and evolving.
Most people don't say anything. Occasionally somebody says, oh, I like the new Vishamru. Occasionally somebody, we had a
I was gonna say,
congregant
the choir's
earlier
pretty
in my tenure
vocal.
at TCS. We had a congregant early in my tenure in TCS who's not with us anymore, unfortunately, who hated anything new. He hated anything that was not the tune that he was used to from his childhood. And he told me every single time, said, I liked the Lecha Dodi, I hated the Vishamru. He said, don't do anything new. We don't want anything new.
So
New melodies, not a good idea.
Say that to me. There are members who still say that to me.
I used to be that way for Adon Olam. The traditional Adon Olam Asher Mola. That was the one that stuck with me from when I was very little, and I never liked it. And that song you can sing to so many different melody, even rock songs, very easily.
Yeah.
So it took me years to accept changing that one.
Yeah. So and I know that I'm the same way. I typically don't like things until I have heard them and sung them several times. So
Annie, are you okay? Oh, okay. Oh, you were like,
No, I was wondering the same thing.
I'm praying.
for me, thank you.
To a different tune.
I'm just
we
praying.
can
I'm
talk
praying.
about that
My New Year's
forever.
resolution is to pray more, so I'm praying.
David, one of the reasons I like
Maybe Annie's praying that we actually go on with the class.
That too.
well,
That too.
Would you be
and learn
willing-
something?
Would you be willing to do the,
On with it. Let the teacher teach, please. I'm sorry, but we only have 60 minutes. We have a teacher. There's great to be some conversation, but I feel like I want to be learning here, and I don't. It's not uninteresting what we're talking about. So I'm sorry. I was praying for that.
Okay.
Excuse me at first.
Thank you. Thank you. So, so we're going to be doing a review on everything that all the prayers that are regular prayers that we learn. So I do have a question about the other material on pages 44 and 45. I believe I asked you to read that. Are you all familiar with that material? Is it? Okay. In that case, let's go on. Let's go on, actually. Let's start the next chapter. Let's start chapter 4. All right. So I want to do something new with you. So I'm going to give you some reading practice now. The material on pages 54 and 55. I'm going to put you in breakout groups. So these are, which you could read for yourself, the Aliyah blessings. So there's part of it that goes before the Torah reading and part that goes after the Torah reading. On the top of page 55, you have the first verse of the Torah, and then you have the blessing before the Haftarah reading. This is not quite as practical as Vishamru, but at least the Aliyah blessing, that's something that you might do at some point. So I'm going to put you in breakout groups.
word careful.
Let's see. Let's see what happens there. Perfect. Okay, here we go.
David, you're muted, by the way, just so you know.
Teresa, are you seeing more than just the three of us? Okay.
I'm not sure if everybody got, oh, here they come. Okay.
Now okay.
Here we go.
I think we're all back.
Somebody just left.
Yeah, but Norm isn't where we left him. He was
Oh,
in the
Norm
bottom
is
left
there.
corner before.
He's muted.
Did somebody leave? Where's Teresa?
She just left. That's who left.
Oh, she's coming back.
Did she get dumped off by accident?
Yeah, something happened.
She was in our breakout
Oh,
room.
There she is.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people are still
By a
muted.
dog.
All right, folks, let's look a little ahead in this chapter. So turn to page 56. Oh, actually, before we do that, a couple of things came up. So turn back to 54. Turn back to 54. So
We're the only ones that are not.
some good questions came up when I was sitting in on your breakout groups. So one of them has to do with, if you look at the reading practice on page 54, the third line, the third and fourth words from the end of the line, what those vertical lines are next to the ah vowel.
Emphasis.
Trope.
So on the word Bachar and Banu, see, not trope. Those are accent marks.
Okay.
Those are telling you that that those words are accented on a syllable other than the last syllable.
Oh, good.
And
Okay.
spoiler alert,
Uh-huh.
when a Hebrew word is not accented on the last syllable, it's accented on the second to last syllable. There's no other option. It's either the last syllable or the second to last. So and most words are accented on the last syllable in Hebrew. So sometimes a Siddur will give you this vertical line next to the vowel to tell you where the accent is if it's not the last syllable. So that's telling you the fourth to last word, that the word is not Bachar, the word is Bachar. And so I'll give you a two possible answer multiple choice question. The third to last word, is it A, Banu, B, Banu?
Banu.
A,
Anu?
Hey,
Banu.
Hey.
Banu, A, Banu. Good. So, so that was that question. The other thing that someone said, I wish there were a glossary that had all the vocabulary words that are in this book. So there is one. It's the inside back cover, has all the vocabulary
Back
words.
cover, back page.
It folds out, right?
Yeah.
Not for us.
So
That's the
there-
teacher's version.
Hold out.
That's
Not
the teacher's version.
Oh, there it is.
doesn't fold out.
Yeah, it doesn't fold
But it
out,
doesn't-
but it is there. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't have it.
The back page, it's not in the cover.
Oh, okay.
By the
What's
way,
the last three?
I don't have a teacher's version.
Oh, sorry.
It was old version.
I guess different printings, they did it differently. So you do have, if you want to look up any of the vocabulary, you could do it there. And you have the Hebrew roots there as
Yeah,
well.
that's nice.
All the Hebrew roots.
Why didn't I find that?
By the way, just
There's a whole
like this is
section
not
on
all
the
the
end, too.
vocabulary in the Hebrew language, this is also not all of the Hebrew roots. There are many, many more Hebrew roots. This is what's covered in this book.
They're mostly
in the
prayer
lab.
book ones, right?
Excuse me?
They're mostly prayer book. specific to prayer books.
Yeah, this is focusing on prayer book Hebrew,
It's good.
and it's,
I'll probably
it's a
say-
little bit biblical too. So, so let's look at some of the new vocabulary on page 56. Speaking about vocabulary. So, let's go around each reading a word and its translation. Will you start, Becky? The first one on the bottom of page 56.
Amim is people. So yes, people. Okay. Sorry.
Like I'm Yisrael.
I'm Yisrael. All right.
Yisrael. So that means people in terms of like a national group of people, not just like people on the street. You wouldn't call that like Am Yisrael is the obvious example. It's talking about the people of Israel as a nation, not as random persons. Does that make sense? Good. It just so happens that the word people in English has both of those meanings. In Hebrew, those are two different words because it's two different meanings. All right.
But you could
next one.
apply it to different things, right? Like you could
Yeah.
say, I'm Yisrael, like the people of Israel, or you could say the Am referring to people who work in a particular industry. So you would use, or would
You
you?
probably wouldn't use it that way.
Oh, okay. All right.
It really means like a national group.
Okay.
Like you'd have like the people of France would be Am,
Okay.
or the, you know,
Okay.
right? Okay, next one, Steve.
Torah, Torah, teaching, law. So in the prayers on the other page, we had Torah. I'm just curious, what's the difference between Torah and Torah?
Good question. Let's look at that. So there you have it in the blessing after the reading of the Torah, the second to last word of the first line. See there? Asher natan lanu Torat emet.
Where are we?
So that is the form that it takes. Remember we did construct form where two nouns are joined together to make one new noun?
I do remember that.
Torat is the construct form of when Torah is the first word joining with another noun. Torat and emet are both nouns, Torah and truth. So this is joining them together to make it Torah of truth. And that's why you have the taf at the end.
Okay. Thank you.
So while we're on this page, could someone find an example of Am?
6.
Page and press.
What's happening? This is 55.
On page 54 and 55,
It's
I
still
mean.
on. So on page 54, oh. Ha'amim?
Hint, it doesn't, I don't think it's here as on its own. It has a suffix.
Right.
And a
The last word of the third line, ha'amim, is with the suffix
and a prefix.
and a prefix, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
Correct. It has a prefix and a suffix. Ha'amim. So it's, yeah, of
The
all
people-
the peoples. Mikol from all the peoples. So it's there, and it's also appears on page 55. I'll give you a hint. It's in the last line of Hebrew on the page.
Is
The
it
fourth
amo?
Yeah.
It's
Right.
Amo. So that's his people. The O at the end is a possessive suffix.
So David, since you're
God.
doing vocabulary on that page, the only word I didn't recognize that we've had in all the prayers and all is just up above. What is the Hebrew word for implanted? I reckon all the other words I can kind of put together where they are in translation. I don't know what word stands for implanted.
Nata, the third word
Nata.
on the second line.
Okay, thank you. Nata.
Right, that's the word. If you're going to plant, a rose bush, that's the word that you would use. So it's not necessarily implanted, it's like planted, but making it implanted is a slight bit of interpretation in the translation. Because, we're not planting plants inside people or on people. It's
More like gives.
right. Okay, back to the vocabulary on page 56. Let's go through them and then we'll find them. All right, next one, Ruthie,
Emmet.
the third
truth?
one.
Yeah, Emmet.
Emet, truth. Good. Next one, Annie.
Hayim, life.
Good. Next one, Penny.
Elohim, God.
Good. Norm, next one.
Navi, masculine for prophet.
Good.
Are there any female prophets?
Yes. There are a few. The most well-known would be Miriam.
And would that be Navi Ot?
No,
Or
that would be plural feminine. Nivi'ah would be like she's described as Miriam HaNivi'ah. Good. Next one, Teresa.
Zedek,
Good.
righteousness, justice.
Tzedek,
Tzedek,
righteousness,
sorry.
justice. All right, last one, Mike.
Moshe, that's Moses.
That's Moses. Good. So now let's look for these words on page 54 and 55. Who can find Emet? Ruth.
Pardon me?
It's right here at the end of the third
I'm
one,
sorry, I didn't hear you.
after the Haftorah.
I don't hear anything, I'm sorry. Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, I was asking people to find the word
Oh.
Emet.
Oh, I thought you were
on
asking
page
Ruth to find it.
55.
The
What?
second,
Truth means truth, same thing.
the second word from the end on the third line of the blessing before the Haftorah reading is one spot. It's also in the end of the top line.
Hold on, Steve. Hold on, Steve. I want to give more people a chance.
Okay, sorry.
All right. So what was the first one that you said? Which place? The second to last word?
The second to last word on line 3 of the blessing before the Haftorah reading, Ha-Emet.
Great. We've got Emet, Ha-Emet, the truth. Good there. Can anyone find another one? Norm?
The blessing, after reading, it's on page 55, the last word on the first line.
Good. Torat Emet. We talked about that construct, taking those two nouns, Torah, teaching, or Torah, and Emet, truth, to create Torah of truth. Good. There's one more. Let's let another person find it. Penny?
I think it's also in the blessing before the Haftarah reading, and it's
Yes.
Ne'emet, which is sort of the fifth word from the. I find it confusing to know which way to talk about. From the left, it's the fourth word in the second line.
Right. Second line, yeah, so you got Hane'emarim be'emet, right?
Mhm.
That their speakings are in truth. Excellent. All right, let's do Chaim, life.
I found it. Oh, did I?
Who said that? Who said
Mike.
Mike?
Hamayim is the on
Where
the
are
end
you?
of the third line on page 54. Right word?
Ha'amim.
Oh,
No, that's
Hayim, Hayim. That's okay. I missed.
Yeah, Chaim.
Yeah.
This one is hard
No,
because this is very hard.
I
So
think
the
it's a-
only place you think you have it, Steve?
yeah, I thought it was in the Genesis line, the third word from the end. On page
No,
55.
that's Hashamayim. That's the heavens.
The heavens.
That's
Oh,
the heavens. So it's in the blessing after the reading of the Torah.
Chaye, v'chaim.
Norm, you have it?
I was thinking maybe Vechaye.
That's correct. That's what you were thinking, Penny?
Yes.
very
Yeah.
good.
Good. Very good. So
Okay, this
that's
is good.
also like a strange thing of the construct form. The construct form of Chaim,
Hayim.
because it's combining it with eternity, a life of eternity. You
Yes.
drop off the final mem in the
The
construct
verb
form.
means and,
Right
exactly
here?
Yeah.
what it is.
Excuse me.
So where
Penny?
where is it?
It's in the blessing after the reading of the Torah at the top of page 55, first word, second line. Penny, you had a question or a comment?
Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
I was-
I just want to
was like-
say that the va in front of the chaye is and.
And,
Okay.
correct. So does anybody know, can anybody think of the name of perhaps a temple that has Chaim in the construct
Yay.
form?
English.
Chaye Shalom. That's Chaim, that's life of peace, right? It's a construct and it's dropping that final mem to create the construct. I don't know who came up with these rules, but
What was
it was
the name of
like any language, speaking created these things, like speed and speaking. All right, Elohim. Elohim, God.
Eloheinu.
Yeah, that's basically Eloheinu in the blessing after the reading of the Torah and the blessing before the Haftarah. But there is an Elohim.
It's also in
Also.
Genesis.
It's in Genesis. Bereshit bara Elohim.
Elohim?
You have an Eloheinu also in the blessing before the Torah reading,
Mhm.
the third line. Good. All right, let's go on.
Flip the page.
Navi. Navi.
Flip it.
So you might be able to narrow down your search knowing that Navi means prophet and knowing what a Haftarah is, that it's a reading from the prophets versus Torah is reading from the Torah, which is not the prophets.
So, or you can look at the English and then look for the word in Hebrew. So that's what I did. So, no, I just lost it.
Okay, I found it. It's on the
Navi.
first line.
Well, hold on, Annie.
So it's the third line. It's the third word from the end. It has Navi kind of embedded in it.
Yeah.
Good. Uvin VA.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
so this is something that has two prefixes, u and v. So that's and in, and it's construct form, so you lose the mem at the end. Good, but there is another one. Did Mike say that you
Yeah, I
found it?
I think it's on the blessing before the Haftorah, the second to last word
Of the first line.
of the first line, B'nevi'im.
Mhm.
Yeah, bin v'im.
B'nevi'im.
So that is, just has the prefix b,
Mhm.
right? Good bin v'im tovim, good prophets. Good. So we're over time, I just noticed.
Oh, yeah.
So let's just let's end here. So for homework, I'm going to suggest that you review 54, 55, and 56. Right, and optionally, you could go back and review anything in the previous chapters. And optionally, you could do exercise 1 on page 66. I'll put this in the email to you.
66?
66.
Oh, that's way over there.
Sunset Strip.
Yes, I remember that.
Oh,
That's
and
from
2.
Jim Willis Jr.
Roots.
Yeah,
Steve,
exercise
on
1
your
on
phone?
2 on page 66. That's just to
Steve?
reinforce the vocabulary. Any questions, guys? Lovely spending this hour for you.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
David.
you.
Okay.
Bye, all.
Nice to see
Bye-bye,
you.
everyone.
see
Have
you
a
all.
wonderful day.
Keep feeling good.
Yeah, it's nice to
Thank
see
you.
you looking so well.
Thank you.
Hey, Steve.
Yes.